Hi everyone, my name is Shannon and welcome to my channel, The Daily DIYer. I am so glad you're here today because this is a compilation of projects, hacks, and ideas that were the most impressive, meaningful, and your favorites from the year, all featuring affordable supplies from the Dollar Tree. They have really upped their craft supply game this past year, carrying items that they never used to in the past, including glue sticks and even glitter glue sticks. Whereas if you get these at Dollar Tree now, they are a fraction of the cost versus the craft store. You see me use these silicone mats for years as backdrops in my crafting videos because I love them so much. They wipe right up. And now Dollar Tree is even carrying a smaller size, perfect for glue guns and smaller projects. Why do I love these mats? Because they are easy cleanup. Not only can you easily wipe these down after painting on them, but also after gluing on them. And I have a great hack using glue sticks for the first couple projects. This first one, we're getting into winter time, so I thought I would bring this one back. It is so easy. You literally just take a clear regular glue stick, blob it onto your silicone mat, and then let it dry. You can decorate it up in the shape of a snowman head using some craft markers to draw on a face and use them as ornaments or decor. Another great idea is to use these mats with the hot glue sticks and create designs on them. So these snowflakes are super easy, beautiful for wintertime on windows, mirrors, and you'll see here I'm going to add mine to a lantern, but you can create any design with these glue sticks using colored glue sticks or even the glitter glue sticks from Dollar Tree to make your own design and make it work for whatever holiday or occasion that is important to you in your life at that moment. And these look so pretty, especially at nighttime when you put them on a lantern and you have that beautiful glowing candle shining through the hot glue. Another idea is to use the hot glue sticks to make your own cake toppers or cupcake toppers instead of using a traditional candle. So you'll just squeeze out your hot glue in whatever number or monogram you want. Take some confetti, again from Dollar Tree, kind of sprinkle it on the top, and here is a little hack. These are facial little wands you can get in the makeup section. Use it to push down that confetti into the glue. They also have these silicone covers for your fingers in the craft section now too. Those work great as well. Once your glue has set up and dried, kind of remove any excess confetti that's trying to hang on. We don't want that falling into our cake or anything. And then you have a custom cake or cupcake topper. There are so many awesome things you can do with hot glue, and I have a video full of ideas that I will link down in the comments below. It would be a great video to click over and watch next. Up next, my absolute favorite thing to craft with this past year were these chopping mats from Dollar Tree. I grabbed these with the idea of creating some keychains, but then I came up with so many other ideas for these as well. Again, I have a video on that and I will link that down in the description box below. These are my favorites though. So I found a design in my Cricut design space and added a vinyl decal onto these clear cutting mats. They are so awesome because they're a pretty good size. They're about 11 by 14 and you get 2 of them in a pack. And when I saw they started having colored mats too, I mean, the possibilities are endless with crafting here. But this is a really simple idea. You can use your scissors to then cut out your shape. And don't feel like you have to use a vinyl decal on these to make these look nice. You can draw on these using some paint pens. You could put regular stickers on them, and they're super easy to punch through with a hole punch too. And we are gonna make some really cute personalized keychains with these. But again, I said I have some more ideas for you, so keep watching. These were, again, just designs from Cricut Design Space. And then I decorated them up with a monogram, and you'll take a simple keychain. I would say you can get them at Dollar Tree, but the cheapest ones I've been able to find are at Walmart. So I will link all the supplies I'm using down in the description box to make it easy for you to find if you want to recreate any of these projects. But look how cute these are. You could do so many different shapes, designs, and styles. Sky's the limit here. Now, as you saw, you can use scissors to cut these mats out with. However, for my folks that do have a Cricut machine, I found a way to cut them on your machine. We're gonna use a strong purple mat for this. There's two sides to these cutting mats. There's a slick side and a rough side. You want the slick side down, the shiny side down. You're gonna use a deep cut blade and pick a design and cut it out. So as you can see, this design is a simple gift tag and it cut it out like butter. So easy peasy. If you don't have a Cricut machine, grab your scissors out and you can make really simple gift tags that way too. You can even use vinyl on these to create your to and from, or a design, or make it a certain color. So just get creative. You can paint them. So many different options. I thought this was really, really cute though. I know some of you said you were having a hard time finding the colored chopping mats. However, I really love these clear ones, and an easy way to dress them up is actually just use some ribbon. That'll give you some color, give you some style, and then your clear ones will work with any holiday or season or occasion. Just change out your ribbon. Another idea using one of those colored chopping mats is the same thing on your Cricut machine. You can pick out a design and cut it out. I loved these little ornaments. You can even put a little monogram cut out in the middle there. It would make a cute gift tag or a great way to personalize your Christmas tree. So not only did Dollar Tree start carrying these chopping mats in different colors, they also upped their game and started carrying the regular cutting boards in colors too. I love this mint color. It is so beautiful, especially paired with a metallic copper. So I found some metallic copper vinyl online and ordered that. We're going to be adding that to the center of this chopping mat, but keep in mind too that Dollar Tree also carries vinyl as well. They even carry faux leather in the same area. So keep your eye out for that. They also have metallic. So maybe this isn't your favorite color combination, but you can head to the Dollar Tree's crafting section and find a color combination that you like. No cutting machine needed here. Just cut out a piece that was the right size and fit within that inset of this cutting board, and got all the bubbles out, and it's just so pretty already. But we're going to continue crafting with this cutting board. I always love to keep oddball things and not just throw it all away. So this is the back of an old picture frame that I had, and I pulled the stand off of it. So I'm so glad I kept this. This works perfectly to then be able to set our cutting board up so it'll be nice and on display. I'm attaching that on with a combination of some hot glue and some super glue, making sure it is doubly tacked down and will stay up for me. And then we can turn this into a little clip sign. This is a chalkboard clip from Dollar Tree. They come in a set of several of them. We only need one for this. I'm going to use some hot glue and then attach this onto the metallic part on the cutting mat. Now you can turn this into several different things. This is a fun to-do list design that I found. If I have the pre-printable, I will also link that down in the description box below for you. And then you can just print it, cut it out, and clip it onto your sign. You can even scale it up or down if you want it bigger or smaller. This is just one cute idea, but I also love the idea of using this for photos or menu boards. This would be super cute in a kitchen, especially if you have like a grocery shopping list you want to add on there. And you can also change it out so it matches your different decor and holidays and seasons. So I'm so excited about this next project. I was asked onto our local morning news show and was able to feature this live on air in St. Louis on Show Me St. Louis KSDK. And it is a tomato cage fall topiary. So of course this one I was super proud of. Wanted to share it with you all, and also was super exciting to be able to share it with the whole St. Louis area too. I do have this segment linked down in the description box. If you actually want to go back and watch the full segment, you absolutely can on their website, but I wanted to share this project with you all too in case you missed it. So you're going to want to start with some garland and also some Christmas lights. Now Dollar Tree carries both, but I found these that are a little bit more convenient and longer on Amazon, and they have a battery pack on them with multi-functioning lights, and it's all kind of in one. So it's leaves and lights in one, so it kind of saves you a step. They're also longer, so you don't have to use so many zip ties to put these on. And at the top, we did bend down the points of our tomato cage, zip tied them together at the top to kind of create that topiary look. And then we're going to start at the bottom, and we're going to work our way around the bottom of this tomato cage, adding some zip ties and then cutting off the long tails as we go along. Now, you don't have to put zip ties everywhere. You just want to make sure you get several on the bottom to keep everything kind of going in the right direction. So it'll look like this, and then you can kind of start just winding it around several times and adding zip ties here and there, just making sure that they kind of stay in place and don't slide down your tomato cage. And then I did actually end up putting 2 of these garlands onto this topiary. I definitely think you could do more and you'll get much better coverage, but 2 did do the job. And then for the base, a couple years ago, Dollar Tree carried these large planters. I still had a couple on hand, and it was actually the perfect size to put these tomato cages on top. And then I needed a topper too, so this is a wood round from the craft store. I used some hot glue and put that wood topper on here. Now, if you're gonna put this outside, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to put a brick or 2 or some rocks in the bottom of this to weigh it down so it doesn't fly away with the wind. Then we're going to use some Dollar Tree Spanish moss and just hot glue that onto that wood round and give it a nice base. And because of the size of this planter, I did end up using about a package and a half of this Spanish moss. So depending on what kind of moss or topper you put on there, make sure you have plenty on hand, as it does take quite a bit. And then you can go ahead and just set your tomato cage on top. You can put a brick on the bottom to keep it down if you can kind of hide it on the inside there. Or you can also hot glue that down onto your wood base, but it's so pretty lit up at night. Such a fun, cute, and easy project. So again, I have another video on lots of different ways you can hack tomato cages. If you want to see that, I will link it down below. And this one was too cute to not put in this video. It was one of my favorites and turns out adorable. We're going to cut off the top spikes of our tomato cage, and then you'll need some kind of ball. I borrowed my son's soccer ball for this, but Dollar Tree carries balls as well. I didn't want to paint it, so I found a t-shirt that I had on hand from Dollar Tree and covered it. And we are going to then cut off the excess and kind of string the bottom together so it stays on our ball. I did that with a rubber band. And if you can't tell here, we are going to be making a cute little friendly ghost, perfect for Halloween. Now, to add that ball onto the tomato cage, just a little bit of hot glue around that bottom edge and then set your ball right on top. And as you can see, this is going to be the head of our ghost. To make him have his white sheet, this is a piece of white fabric that I had on hand. Find this really inexpensively at the craft store and even Walmart. And I'm just laying that over the tomato cage, but I did double it up so it wouldn't be too see-through. I did want the bottom to have kind of a rounded look and not have those points, so some scissors trimming off those corners easily took care of that. You do want the fabric longer, as we'll be tucking it under once we put it on display. Now, of course, we need a face for our ghost. So I thought it'd be helpful to come in with a pencil and kind of draw out my design first before actually painting it. So I made sure everything was even, just 3 simple ovals, 2 for the eyes and 1 larger one for the mouth. And then I took the fabric off and used some fabric paint to fill in those ovals. Make sure to follow the directions on your paint and let it sit to dry as long as it needs, and then you can reapply your fabric onto the base of our ghost. And now you want to do some adjusting. Make sure your fabric is on straight and it's all even and the bottom is covered. Then to attach it in the back, I'm using some hot glue on that t-shirt back there to make sure that this fabric isn't going to slide one way or the other. And then in the very back, we're going to kind of crisscross the excess fabric and use some safety pins to hold it in place. These are so quick and easy to make, and you can call it good. At this point, they would look so cute indoors or out, but let's add another extra special element. These are awesome LED strobe lights you can get at Dollar Tree. You add a couple batteries into them, and they have some colored fun lights when you hit the button, and you can set your tomato cage over this, and then you have a fun light up ghost that is super fun at nighttime. And so now that I've given you a great fall and Halloween project, let's transition over to Christmas and my absolute favorite Christmas project of the year. Now, Dollar Tree has these amazing clear ornaments. I did a video on that. I'll link it down below too so you can see all of them be made. However, I found these great gingerbread men, and we're going to decorate these guys up for a very special cause. Stay tuned and I'll tell you about that here in just a little bit, but let's do the project first. I found this perfect spray paint by Krylon. I'll link it down below too if I can find it. It is the perfect kind of shimmery brown toasted gingerbread color. So I took these clear ornaments outside and gave both sides 2 coats to make sure I had really good coverage. Let them dry all the way, and then we can bring them inside to decorate. To get that gingerbread frosting look, we're going to use some white puffy fabric paint for that, and we're going to just add that onto all the raised areas on the ornament, and we're also going to add some extra little special touches on here too to give them some color. I love the Dollar Tree is carrying some really great ribbon now. This polka dot was from Dollar Tree during the springtime. I always grab up some each season so I have a nice variety because it's so affordable and great quality. I'm making a simple little bow tie bow, and we're gonna hot glue that onto his bow. I probably didn't have to paint this bow since I'm adding the ribbon, but why not? Then these are also some fun little polka dot stickers from Dollar Tree. I added that to the center of the bow and also felt like his little buttons needed some color too. After I put this polka dot ribbon, also from Dollar Tree, through the top of the ornament to use as a hanger. So this is a close-up of the first ornament, but I ended up making so many ornaments. In that video that I referenced earlier that I'll link down below, these are all candy-themed ornaments that were created and sent over to my friend Natalie at Design to the Nines, who also put out a call to all of you to help us decorate a Christmas tree at the Ronald McDonald House in Orlando, Florida. And boy, did you guys come through. You guys sent over 2,200 ornaments that not only decorated one tree at the Ronald McDonald House, but there was so many that they were able to decorate 2 giant trees, bringing joy to so many people in that Ronald McDonald House. So thank you all so much. You can go over to Natalie's channel and Lisa Burningham's channel. They both did an amazing job decorating those trees this holiday season. Projects like that just give me the goosebumps. So thank you all so much for participating in that. Hopefully you see your own ornaments as you watch that video if you are one of the wonderful people who contributed to that cause. Next, let's move on to another project that just sometimes you start working on things and you're not quite sure if they're gonna work out, and this one just came through. So I felt like it was definitely worth putting in this video. These are 2 pillar candles from Dollar Tree. We're gonna melt down the wax in those very carefully, turn it on kind of medium heat, and let them do their job in some hot water on your stove. Once they melt down all the way, you can remove the wicks, again, very carefully. I wouldn't mind to have a fall scent and also an orange color, so I had some of these wax melts. They definitely gave it the scent, but unfortunately the color didn't come through as bright or as dark as I was hoping. So if you have some candle colorant, definitely add that in there too, but it does give it a tint, and when you see at the end, you'll see what I mean. So what I did is I put 1 into each one of those containers and then used a barbecue skewer to kind of mix it all together until it was completely melted. And at this point, I was really hopeful that this was going to work out. However, you'll see at the end. We're going to keep going with this project because it does actually work. We're going to use some wicks. These were off Amazon. I'll link them down below. They came with a ton. And I actually only needed 1 of these candles to fill this muffin tin that was also from Dollar Tree. So keep in mind, these are pumpkins, but Dollar Tree carries different styles of muffin tins year round, or you can use the round ones. Those work just as good too. And we are going to make some floating candles. So my little kit from Amazon also came with these popsicle sticks that you put the wicks through so it keeps them centered, keeps them down at the bottom so they can sit and rest and cool off all the way. Again, I'll link those down below, but you can use regular popsicle sticks and drill little holes into them, and that works too. So as you can see, here are my peachy candles. Not quite orange like I was hoping, but we did get a tint in there. So next time I think I will definitely order some colorant, little drops to put in there to get a brighter color. Save those popsicle sticks. You can use them over and over again. Once these cool all the way, flip over the muffin tin and they pop right out. You are going to trim down those wicks to pretty low. I would say maybe 1/8 of an inch. You want them pretty short. You don't want them too tall at all. And then you can get a Dollar Tree little vase. This is a bubble vase, and these candles sit right on top and float. How fun is that? I love this so much. And they smell so good too. And also, I mean, come on, these are so pretty. With the candle burning, with your fall decor, or any decor, depending on what muffin tin style you choose. Now, in case you don't want to use all 6 of these candles at the same time, they do keep. Just put them in a Ziploc airtight bag until you're ready to use them. Let me just brag on Dollar Tree's wood section for a second. I always love crafting with their wood, because you can do so much to it, and crates are something you can do so many things to, and I love a good organization hack. So I picked up 4 of these crates, and I'm using a double-sided tape to attach these together. I'll link this down in the description box below. Hot glue or any kind of adhesive works just as good too, but I love these double-sided tape ones because they are permanent and they are mess-free, quick and easy, and I think we can all appreciate that. So the first 2, I did one vertical, one horizontal, came back in with another vertical one, and basically making a square with these boxes to create a little compartmentalized display here. And I'll show you how I used mine. The awesome thing about these is you can paint them or stain them too to match whatever or wherever you're going to be putting yours. And I also grabbed out my Lazy Susan. I think I got this from either IKEA or Walmart. I'll link one down below. I'm pretty sure they're like 10 bucks. I use these in the kitchen in my craft room. They are so handy. These crates are big enough that you can put mason jars in them. So I put one in each one of the crates, which gave me another side compartment for markers, Sharpies, paint brushes, and then the middle even is its own separate compartment too. And when you put it on a Lazy Susan, it just makes it so handy and convenient. If you're loving this type of content and you haven't subscribed yet, please do hit that subscribe button, and then you can come back for weekly ideas just like these. This is another way you can utilize that same system, just tilt it up on the side to create sort of a tiered tray style compartment shelf. So that was an idea for every day, but you can switch it out just like tiered trays for the different holidays and seasons. Obviously, this one is decorated up for Christmas time. This is another special project, so keep watching because I'll explain that here when it's over or whenever this project is finished. You're gonna need some Model Magic, and we're gonna use them to make some tiny mini marshmallows. Super easy. I love this Model Magic. It is mess-free. It doesn't mess up your countertop. It doesn't get all over your clothes or your hands. And if you get white, you can also color it or change it to whatever color you want. And what we're gonna do here is make some mini marshmallows by just creating a ball and then rolling it into kind of a tic-tac shape and then pressing down on the top and the bottom to flatten them. I did get out some parchment paper so they could dry on the paper as I was making them. And I made lots of these little guys, which really takes no time at all. And here's what they look like once they're all finished drying. They look like the perfect little mini marshmallows, don't they? And I just made kind of like a handful, enough that we're gonna cover up some chocolate drizzles on this Dollar Tree coffee mug. So I got out my hot glue gun and some brown hot glue gun sticks. Yep, those are a thing. I'll link mine down in the description box below. Makes the perfect little chocolate drizzles. So you'll go just a little ways and then you can start popping in your mini marshmallows while the hot glue is still warm. And then you'll just continue around the top rim of your mug, adding a few marshmallows here or there. I did have some comments, can you use this? No, absolutely not. This is not food safe once you add the hot glue on there. It is solely for looks. You get this cute little mug that you can use for display during winter and Christmas time. Another tip here is to make sure you go around all the top edge of your coffee mug to give it a nice finished look. These marshmallows that hang off the side of your mug are also made out of Model Magic, using a cookie cutter and then cutting out a rectangle out of the center so it'll sit on the mug. This whole coffee bar I featured in another video that I will link down in the description box below, where you can learn how to make several of the projects on this hot cocoa bar, including the marshmallows and some other items. And why is this project so special? Well, because again, Show Me St. Louis here decided to come out to my she shed this time and feature a couple of these projects on their morning show again. So that hasn't quite posted yet, and as soon as it does, I will post a link so you can go over and watch it. But very, very honored to now be on their show 3 times. Who knew you could make so many amazing things and hack clothespins in so many different ways? I have a video featuring several of those ideas that I'll link down below, but I'm bringing you my favorite one for this project. You'll also need a pizza pan along with about 85 clothespins to make this adorable jack-o'-lantern. So what we're gonna do is take our hot glue, run it around the outside edge of the pizza pan, and literally just clip away, adding clothespins, touching each other all the way around the rim and the edge. Now it does look like a lot, but it really doesn't take very long at all. Once you get all the way around the outside circle, you're gonna take it outside, and I highly recommend at this point using spray paint. Now you could hand paint this. It's gonna take forever and a day because there are so many nooks and crannies between all of those clothespins, but with spray paint, it goes super quick. Once you get a few coats on there and let it dry, you can start creating your jack-o'-lantern. So this is some black vinyl that you can use. You could even use felt, you could use paint, you could use a paint pen, whatever you have on hand. Anytime I create a project, I always keep in mind that not everybody has the same projects or has the same supplies. So always use what you have on hand or find something similar that will work. I used a piece of paper and just kind of created a template and then cut that template out of my vinyl. But if you have a Cricut, you can also find a jack-o'-lantern face design and cut that out on your machine. But like I said, you don't have to have a Cricut machine to use vinyl. You can use scissors and cut it out and just use it like regular stickers like I'm showing you here. Now the top, we need to add a stem, so just a little bit of green paint over about 4 or 5 of those clothespins at the top, and you can decorate it up too. I added a little bit of greenery here, kind of turning it into a wreath. Hot glued that on there, and then also I wanted to add some curly cues. This is also from Dollar Tree. I'm loving it. I've used it for several projects. It's some jute, but it has wire in it, so it's gonna hold its shape. I used a paint bottle and kind of twisted around the paint bottle to give me those curly cues like you'd see coming off of jack-o'-lanterns. It was super easy to kind of hot glue those into place, and it also helped to put some of those curly cues underneath some of the clothespins that helped hold it for you, and then you don't have to use quite so much glue. Now for the hanger, we're going to use some Dollar Tree burlap ribbon here. So I made a big loop to the size that I needed to go on the back side of this pumpkin. So we're going to flip that over, and we're going to use a combination of some duct tape and some hot glue to put this on there. So make sure you find the center top of your pumpkin, hot glue that down, and then add some duct tape. Again, some more hot glue and duct tape on the back side. This does become pretty heavy, so I would highly suggest using that duct tape and not just some glue on there, so you don't have your pumpkin come crashing down. But I love this guy so much. I gave it to my grandma. She had it displayed on her door in the nursing home and seemed to really enjoy it. I love sharing this hack that I do personally all the time when we clean our bed sheets. You'll need some scent beads, laundry scent beads, some baking soda, and some white vinegar. You can find all of these items at Dollar Tree, which I love. And try this one time and you'll probably be hooked like I am too. You'll put your scent beads in the bottom of your washing machine. And then depending on how your washing machine is set up, I put a half a cup of white vinegar in my softener and a quarter of a cup of baking soda in my oxy tray. And basically super easy. It doesn't hardly take any time at all. And then we're gonna use some hot water, and I'm gonna use my bedding setting on my washing machine. And you'll also want to make sure that your oxy tray is on, otherwise that won't get dispensed into your laundry. So you just run it and let it do its thing, and then dry it on medium, and it just makes not only your sheets so soft but smell so good too. It is so cozy. If you try this, let me know down in the comments below, and if you have other secrets, let me know about keeping your bed sheets nice and fluffy. This is another one of mine using some linen spray. Again, I have a recipe for that I'm going to share with you because I love it so much. There's nothing better than clean sheets. Now for this linen spray recipe, you will need a spray bottle. I love these metal ones that Dollar Tree carries. They just make it a little bit fancier. And then you're gonna need some lemon, tea tree, peppermint, lavender, and eucalyptus essential oils, and also some witch hazel, and about a quarter of a cup of water. We're gonna put all of that, it helps to have a funnel, 2 ounces of water into your container first, 2 ounces of witch hazel, and then you're going to need 6 drops of each one of your essential oils, and then you'll kind of gently shake it up to make sure it's all incorporated, and then you just spray it onto your sheets. Easy peasy. This makes enough to do your sheets several times, which I love. And I don't know, it's just simple things like this that don't take hardly any time but make a big difference. What is it about duct tape? I feel like you can use it for everything. It is good for everything. I have a big video on so many different hacks for this, and I will link that video down below, but I'm going to share with you some of my favorites. And the cool thing about Dollar Tree is they have the fancy ones too. They have the colored duct tape, they have holographic duct tape, they even have white duct tape, which is my favorite because they make the perfect labels. So you just need a black permanent marker. I like to put down something flat and plastic. This is a pencil pouch from Dollar Tree, or a pencil case. I like that because it pulls off easily. I can write on it flat, it comes off, and then I can add my labels to whatever I need. These are actually bins from Dollar Tree too, very fancy and nice, and I keep lots of my craft supplies in them. And so now I can just pull out the right bin instead of guessing, and it was so easy. Another idea is using them for remotes. During Christmas time, I have so many different candles. So I have these awesome pillar candles, I have these string lights in my garland, and I have these taper candles, and they're all remote control. If you've never seen these before, you need these in your life. They make Christmas time so much easier when you have them all over the place. So I had some Christmassy colored duct tape, all from Dollar Tree, that I put on my remotes, so now I can grab out the right remote to turn on and off the candles. I ended up using a lot of these at Halloween time and then transitioning them over to my Christmas, and it is so nice to not have to tap buttons, click buttons, bend over and turn things off and on. It's just very convenient. And since I had my holographic tape out, I wanted to show you another Christmas hack using duct tape. We're going to take a length and fold it over lengthwise so it sticks onto itself. Trim it down to size, and then you will just take some heavy-duty scissors and trim off both of the corners on one end. And as you can see, we just made instant and affordable gift tags. And all you have to do is take a hole puncher, again from Dollar Tree, and punch a hole in the top. You can add ribbon, string, twine, add them to your gifts, add them to your gift bags. And like I said, there's so many different colors and things at Dollar Tree. You can make these for birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, whatever gift you need to give. But obviously, these are super Christmassy. Holy moly, did Dollar Tree get so many new solar lights this year. These solar stake lights that kind of had a candle glow into them were my absolute favorite. And this is also my absolute favorite wreath of the year that I made. I found these for $1 at IKEA on clearance. Dollar Tree has wreaths too, but they're $1.25. So when you can find them cheaper, absolutely grab them. And these were actually nicer quality. So I'm hoping I can find some more of these on clearance after Christmas this year. I just found a little part of the frame of the wreath, moved the branches out of the way, and we're gonna take our solar light and kind of hot glue it down onto the frame of the wreath. We're gonna do that with the help of some floral wire and some hot glue. We're also going to use some of those branches from the wreath itself to help cover up the bottom, just kind of wrap it around the bottom. It's also going to help to further attach our solar light onto this wreath. As I said before, Dollar Tree has awesome ribbon, and I love this buffalo check. It has wire in the edges too, which makes it nice when you're creating wreath bows like this one. So we're just gonna make several loops, making them even and both the same size on both sides. And we're gonna layer those up with several loops on both sides. We're also gonna make one last little loop in the center that is smaller. That's gonna be the center loop of our bow. Now I know bow making doesn't come easy to everyone, but I do have a video showing you how to make 4 simple Christmas bows, including this one, in-depth, detailed tutorial. I slow it down, make it simple and easy for you. So if you need help making bows, definitely check out that video. I will link that down below. This one here, we're gonna trim off the end. I wired it all together, and then we're gonna wire this bow to the bottom of that solar light. If you want to know the secret to making good bows, really a lot of it is in the fluffing. You don't want to have a flat bow. You want those loops nice and puffy, and the wire in this ribbon is what helps it keep its shape. So if you're starting to make bows like this, get some with the wire in it. It's going to help tremendously. We're now going to add a little tail onto this bow. That's another secret. Instead of, trying to fight your tails of your bows to make them look nice the whole time, just wire them on separately. You'll get the perfect even little tails of your bows without having to fiddle with them. And then you can just cut the tails with the dovetail ends. That makes it look super fancy too. Now I have this displayed inside, but if you put this on your front door, obviously it's gonna get sunlight, and then your solar light will come off and on with the sunshine. Now that was my favorite wreath, but this is my actual favorite Christmas craft and hack of the year. Dollar Tree started carrying these $5 4-foot Christmas trees with the Dollar Tree Plus. If you don't have them there, I've been told you can also find them at 5 and below, so keep your eye out there. We're gonna make some really impressive but affordable swags that are gonna go on either side of the front door. With these, they have a long topper on them for some reason, so I trimmed mine off so it didn't look awkward. Fluffed all of my branches to the front, made sure the back was flat. Now we're gonna flip this upside down, so the base of the tree is actually gonna be the top. I'm using some wired velvet ribbon here to make a large size bow. I did 3 lengths of ribbon, all the same size, made loops, found the center, put my thumbs together, made sure my loops were the same size on both sides, stacked them up, and then pinched the centers together to find the middle. And then we're gonna use some floral wire to wire those all together. And just like with the wreath, we're gonna add the tail on separately. So go ahead and we're gonna wire that bow to the base of the tree, which is now gonna be the top of our swag. A little bit of hot glue here doesn't hurt either. I did double up the tails on this one to make 2 different lengths. And then after that, you can take some excess ribbon, hot glue that onto the center of your bow, and that's going to gather it all together and give it a nice finished look. Now to actually hang these, we're gonna flip it to the back side, add a long length of wire underneath some of those branches and pull it up evenly on both sides. And that is how we're going to wire this onto the sides of our front door. So I have porch lights on each side of my door. However, if you don't, some heavy duty command hooks would help here. And once you get it wired on, you definitely want to fluff up all your branches, your bow loops, and the tails, kind of tuck them into the branches so some of them are sticking out. And just look how pretty these are. These are so simple yet super affordable, under $10 each. You can even add some Christmas lights in there if you wanted to, and then give it a little bit of a glow at nighttime. I think they are so pretty, but have a really grand look. There are so many amazing things you can do with the canvases from Dollar Tree too, and I have a video full of ideas that I'll link down below as well, but this was my absolute favorite one. So these are the stretched canvases, not the flat ones, the ones that have the wood frames in them. This is an easy way to remove the canvas off of those frames. You're gonna take an X-Acto knife and run this around the entire perimeter on the sides, not the front or the back. I'll link my X-Acto knife down in the description box as well too. I love this thing. It is comfortable and works really well, and it's super affordable. So once you get all the way around, make sure you get those corners really well too. You can remove the canvas off of the front and definitely save those. You can use those for other projects and art projects, and just use it as fabric if you want to. Definitely don't throw those away. Now on the back side, we need to also remove the rest of the excess fabric. So a pair of pliers just kind of helps peel that off. You don't need to worry about removing all of those staples. So we're gonna use the front side, the side that doesn't have staples, has a nice clean finish on it. This is just one though. We need to repeat this 8 more times and do this to 9 canvases total. Now I wish it was that quick and easy, but as you can see, we need to remove all the canvas off of there. It doesn't take too long though, no worries. We're gonna move along with this project. We're gonna use a combination of wood glue and hot glue to put these together, but we need to lay these all out first. So we're gonna do 3 across and 3 down with 1 in the center, so that way we have one big frame when we're all done. So we're gonna take the sides, we're gonna start with the first row, add some wood glue first, and then add some hot glue. The hot glue is gonna set up quickly for us, but the wood glue is what's really going to give us a tight and secure bond, but that does take longer to dry. So if you do it this way, we can move on with our project a little bit more quickly. So once you get each row done, then you're gonna add them to the tops and the bottoms of the middle row to make one big frame. It also helps to add a little extra support in there. These are paint stir sticks that I'm just hot gluing to the back, like I said, just to give it some extra stability. Then we can add the fun part, the decorative part. So I found all of these pretty wood accent pieces at Hobby Lobby. And if you watch, you can get these on sale sometimes, but otherwise they're still pretty affordable. I found this really ornate one that was long and skinny, so I thought this would be really pretty for the top. And then I found some corner pieces as well. I still use this piece to this day. I hang wreaths on it. I let it be kind of a backdrop sometimes. And it's just a really pretty piece that you could add to the wall or to over a mantle and kind of layer with it. You could leave it the wood color like I am here. I love natural wood tones. If you wanted to, you could seal it, you could stain it, you could even paint it. I just used some hot glue for the little ornate decorative pieces, and that is what really gave this some character, gave it an old world look. Kind of a farmhousey look, but it still looks pretty fancy. I am just loving it. It has such a natural kind of fancy element to it, but also really nice and neutral too. Have you ever crafted with toilet plungers before? Let me know down in the comments below if you have, and if you did, what did you make with them? I have a video full of ideas on these too, because basically the handles of these are like big inexpensive dowel rods. So for this project, we're gonna use a 5-inch wood round. You can find a pack of these at Hobby Lobby for super cheap, just a couple dollars. And you're also gonna need 2 plungers, and we're gonna cut one of the plunger handles down a little bit smaller than the other one. And here's another hack we're gonna throw in there. Use the rubber parts of your plungers as little paint trays, so you can easily reuse these over and over again because the paint just washes right off of them. We're also gonna paint and kind of faux stain our toilet plunger handles, and then we have 3 pieces that all look the same. And then to put this all together, I have a couple ideas for you. First, we're gonna take that wood round, we're gonna drill a hole in the center of that, and we're gonna take the longer plunger handle here, and we're gonna drill a pilot hole up the unfinished end. That is going to give us a place to then screw a drywall screw or a wood screw up from the bottom of the wood round, kind of go up until the point is sticking past the top. Then you can set your toilet plunger handle in place with that pilot hole we already made and screw these 2 together. And here is one idea you can use this for. It works perfectly in the kitchen as a paper towel holder. So love this, perfect size, fits under your counter or under your cabinets and kind of tucks away. That's super easy. Another idea is you can also put this in your bathroom and use it as a toilet paper storage holder. So those are 2 ideas, but let's take this one step further with that smaller handle that we cut apart. And I also cut down the end of the longer piece. We didn't want that rounded because I'm going to add a little finial to the top of that here shortly. But first we're going to drill another pilot hole into the longer piece, a pilot hole to the end of the smaller piece, and we're going to screw these 2 pieces together, and we're going to create an arm that's coming off the side. Now let's make this a little bit fancier. This is actually a drawer knob that I took off of an old Hobby Lobby sign, and we're gonna hot glue and super glue that to the top of this towel holder, just dotting that onto the top there and then adding our finial. And then this is another piece that can be multifunctional. You can put it in your kitchen and add a hand towel on it. You can also put it in your bathroom for hand towels as well. Oh my gosh, I just love the planters at Dollar Tree. They always have so many nice ones, different sizes, colors, styles. It's almost like you can get anything there, even terracotta pots, which I love. We're gonna make a little hanging planter. With the help of our hot glue gun, you want it turned on and hot because that is going to melt holes into each side of our planter for us and give us a little space that we're going to be able to put some string through those holes. So we're going to do 2 towards the top on one side. It also helps to take some needle nose pliers, kind of route out the hole so that way we have more space to add in some string there. And then once you have that done, you want to flip it over to the other side and repeat the process. You want these pretty much evenly spaced apart. And then once you have that finished, we can start adding our string. So this is 4-ply jute. You can get this for about $5 at Walmart. You get a ton of it. I'll link it down below as well, but you can also use some string or cording you can get from Dollar Tree. We're first gonna take our string and we're gonna go in through one side from the front to the inside of our pot on one side and do the same thing on the other and pull those tails tight so we have a nice finished side, and then the inside is going to have the extra strings. Flip it over, repeat the process so we put the string from the outside to the inside of the pot on both sides. You do want to make sure that these are pretty even on both of these, and you're going to take your strings, pull them to the top, gather them all together, and tie a big knot at the top. Now obviously this is a planter, so I put a plant in it, and it's an easy way to create your own plant hanger, but sky's the limit here too. You could use this for organization, a way to put succulents in your room, put your craft supplies hanging for pens and pencils next to your desk, so get creative with this idea. As I mentioned earlier, you can get terracotta pots at Dollar Tree too. Love them. You're gonna need 3.5-inch size pots for this project and 1 jar candle. So we made floating candles earlier. We're gonna make some wood burning wick candles in terracotta pots for this project. I'll link these wood burning wicks down in the description box below. I love them. They crackle. It's amazing. We're going to cover up the holes in the bottoms of our terracotta pots, and then we're going to use some super glue to glue our wicks to the bottom of the pots. Now, pretty much the same way we did the floating candles, we want our flame on medium. You need a large pot of water on your stove. You're gonna put your candles in the water. Before it comes to a boil, you want it all to kind of heat up at the same time, very slowly, about 15 minutes. You will need to let these sit so that the wax has time to melt all the way down, and then you can remove those wicks from the insides of those jars. Now, we're not going to be using these wicks for this project, but definitely still save them. They are still usable for other projects down the road. But like I showed you earlier, we're going to be using those wood wicks for this one instead. But if you don't have the wood wicks, then save those regular wicks and you can use them for this project too. We're going to take very, very carefully and pour the wax into our candles. You can see 1 jar candle filled up the 3.5-inch size terracotta pot, so you'll need 1 for each one of your pots. You'll let these sit up, cool, and you can burn them. If you want to add some scent to them, some essential oils is great. Peppermint, lemon, and citronella are perfect bug repellent scents, so we're going to add some of those to each one of these candles before it dries, before it cools off, and we're going to incorporate that all together and let that dry. Once they've had time to set up, you can come in with some regular scissors and you'll want to trim down the wicks. Now, I did learn this kind of the hard way. These wicks are no joke. They put up a pretty big flame, so I wish I would have cut mine down even farther than this. Putting them on a terracotta saucer helps too, in case, you know, we didn't cover up the hole good enough. But you can see here, I didn't cut it down quite low enough, and it starts with a big flame. It starts evening out eventually, but definitely maybe like 1/8 of an inch high. 1/4 of an inch is probably even a little bit too high on these, but they work really well and they sound really awesome. So that is a fun project to try. If you made it to the end, leave me your favorite colored heart emoji down in the comments below. Don't forget to check the description box to links I mentioned throughout this video. And I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. I will see you in the next one. Have a creative day.